Good morning. Hi, guys. Good to see you all. I'm Coach Jill. I'm excited for this morning. It is Friday, and I think we're going to have some fun. So, over the last couple of weeks, because I've been working on this project for a couple weeks, so yay! Right now, though, I am illustrating a children's book. Really, what it is it's more a alphabet book. I am currently illustrating a alphabet book, geared where like it could be for children, but obviously, I actually think more people will just enjoy it as adults. So today, what I wanted to do is I'm getting to the point where I've done a lot of illustrations, but I'm not exactly sure what I still need to do and what I don't need to do. So I thought today, to get started, we could just kind of go through what I've done so far versus like what I still need to do, because yeah, I'm actually not quite sure. So I'm going to make myself a little checkbox sheet that I can make up for us so that we have a little more direction. Because up to this point, it's kind of like I'm not exactly sure what my style is, so I didn't quite want to do it yet. But I'm kind of feeling like I now have kind of established at least how I want the illustrations to look. So I think I have enough like information that I can kind of get started. So let's do this. So I thought what we could do is that we could go through the poem, the book, and kind of read it. And as we read it, we can find which ones I have right now that would work versus if I need to do something else. Because the way I've written it, with every letter, there's anywhere from like 2 to, I think, like even 6 on a couple letters. Like 2 to 6 things that are like things that could be illustrated. Some of them are more technical drawings. Some of them would be more like objects, like a harp. So I think my point today is that I want to go through and just see what I've illustrated so far. Because I've had a lot of fun, and they're turning out like pretty decently well. Now, this one I don't know if I could use as much because there's a lot more background to it, and I think most of them it needs to be a pretty like neutral background. So I think like this was the first thing I did in this art style, and I think it was just a little too whimsy. But I think after that I was able to narrow it down, because I think that is the style where it's very accurate to like a harp, but like I'm not having to go crazy detailed. Like that's pretty messy pen, but you get the effect of exactly like if a harpist is familiar with harp, she's gonna be able to tell you that's a prelude. So like it's definitely one that, yeah, I think there's some flexibility there. So with that being said, I think this is going to be a fun little project today for us to kind of go through the poem. We'll talk about what we've got here, what we need to do differently. Like, I love how that one turned out. So cool. Really just like all of these. This was my latest sheet, and I just think I did a good job. I'm excited with how they're working out. So another thing I was doing yesterday was I was just doing a bunch of swatches. that I can kind of scan in and use as like fillers. Like, oof, like all of those. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with how they turned out. Another swatch panel, but then we've got like the details of the gears. So a lot of these drawings and paintings are designed in a way where like most of the painting is going to be cut off the edges. Um, it's going to have a lot of like zoomed in or only part of the image, you know. So that's part of why some of them are a little bit like weird around the edges because I don't plan on it completely being on the page. And that's kind of what I have to figure out too. It's exactly how I want to put them on the page, like assemble them together. So there's a chance I might play around with like actually doing the editing and like assembling a few pages just so I can kind of get an idea of what I'm going for. But I haven't completely decided that yet. So we will get there. But in the meantime, let's pull out this poem and see how we're doing with images because, yeah, I think there's interesting things going on here. Okay, we're good there. Let's go to the poem. Where's my dad would say a poem. Oh, come on, there's notes on here. There we go. Okay, so this is the Harpus alphabet, and let's see what we've got here. So, come take a trip down soundboard and strings. We'll use that image. With letters that dance and music that rings, let's study each letter. Come wander with me through technique, harp structure, and music theory. Okay. This one's on that page. I know that for sure. So this one actually could be a dual purpose. I'm almost thinking this might be the midrib. We'll have to see. So I might have to redo that first image. I really like how this one turned out though. Like that's pretty fun. Definitely one you'd be zooming in on. Okay. Let's study each letter. Come wander with me through technique, harp structure, and music theory. So I might have to come up with some other stuff to do there. A is for arch, where the action begins. Levers or gears are bright metal pins. They shift accidental strips, naturals, and flats, so pieces can wear different musical hats. Okay, we've got a couple things there. One would be we have accidentals, but now we need arch where the action begins. So this could be one of the images. So A is for arch where the action begins, because this is a pedal harp action. So the action is where like the sharps and flats get made. So we have the accidentals, we have a pedal sharp action. So I'm almost thinking on that page you'd have the like letter. We're gonna borrow this. Because I'm thinking the basic layout that you'd have is like letter poem or like letter poem piece, accidentals, pedal harp action, and then lever harp action on like either side. Meaning I need a lever harp action. So I need a closed in, zoomed in, kind of this same image except with lever harp. Okay, that way we also get the arch of the harp. Okay. What are usually my cardinal pins? Okay. That takes care of A. Okay. B. Bridge pins keep strings in the spots they belong. Brackets hit fingers so nothing goes wrong. No buzzing allowed. The playing must flow, especially when playing Bisbigliano. Okay, so couple of very technical things on heart. So first thing that says, we have bridge pins. So that's actually what these things are. Those are bridge pins. We have 3 different styles. All 3 are used with different types of harps. So we have the bridge pins. So yay! And then it wanted brackets and Bisbigliano. So that's on this thing. So we've got brackets, and then this is the sign for Bisbigliano. So actually, do you know what might be helpful here? I want to do it off the actual image. We're gonna quickly write in all of these things. Pedal action. So yeah, actually let's label these. Okay, so that's a pedal action. Actually, I probably should do this with a pencil. Now that I'm thinking about it. We've got chords. We've got muffles. We have a harp card. We have, okay, this is 2. I think we might have this be the midrib image. These ones are bridge pins. These ones are glissandos. We've got our pedal harp action. Okay, this one, we've got accidentals. We've got our threaded tapered tuning pins. Okay. Now this one is just a grand staff. It's not actually, okay, this is a Bisbigliano. These are dynamics. And this is supposed to be a bracket. Okay, that's taken care of. This is a actually, this is also a prelude. Prelude. This one is just incidental. Okay. I'm not using that one, but this is A. This one is an M. This is a This is a lever. Okay, that's all the images so far. So now let's see what's missing. Because there's definitely some missing. A few of these I don't have anything for yet. Okay, now that we've labeled everything though, let's see what we are missing. So we'll still need to figure out that first thing that we want to do. Okay, bridge pins, done. Brackets, done. Bisbigliano, done. Chords, done. Crown on a comb, that's done. Okay, I don't know if I want to be doing hands, but possibly closed hands. I just don't like hands in general. Also, the other problem with using that is I don't know if I want to do hands for the specific reason that there's lots of different technique styles on harp, and some of the differences is the way that people close their hands. And because that's different, I don't know if I want to open that can of worms. So we will have to see. Dolly, done. Dynamics, done. Dampen, yes. Technically, yes. Okay, double strung harp. That one needs to be done. So, double strung harp. Okay. Okay, I need to do an electric acoustic harp. Okay, I'm not quite sure how I want to do the electric acoustic. I'm just going to put the word because there's like 6 different ways I could do that. Acoustic. Okay, now I have the amp for that though. We do need to do finger slide. Okay, so that's a technical one that I need to do. Okay, glissandos. Okay, up close string type. Up close string type. So yeah, that's an important step. Okay, so we've got those. Harmonic curve. Okay, so we need a harmonic curve. And then a harmonic markings. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Okay, I don't know what we're doing for improv. Improv, maybe just don't know how to do that. We'll experiment. But intervals, that we can do jazz. And another one that's a little tricky. So that one, okay. Okay, so K is an interesting one because it's key signatures. So I'd originally planned on maybe doing a circle of fifths and some pedal pictures, and I think I might do that. Okay, so okay, so it'd be a few things because pedal pictures. Okay, I think that'll work for K. Okay, need to do a lyre. Other leather designs. I want to do like 6 different levers. So I might do kind of like what I did with like the bridge pens, where it's kind of a smattering of levers and not as like dark as this one. Because I think that's the problem with this one. This might have to just be like on the cover or back cover or something like that, one of those style images. Because I like it. Okay, we've already done the muffle and we did the midriff, so we're good there. Okay, so for nylon string, so this is a fun little challenge. Okay, I have an idea for this. So one, it's a lot going on, but I kind of want to do a harp and then have a little like how it'll have like the little circle. Oh hey, thanks for joining us. Good to see you guys. But yeah, so I think I'd do a zoomed in picture of like a harp in the upper octaves where we have the nylon strings, and but then have that little circle that's the like, I am having fun illustrating. So I am in the process right now of experimenting with a new art style where I am, doing kind of pen and paint images. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm currently illustrating a children's style music alphabet book that's specifically focused on the harp. So I've got a lot of random things I'm illustrating, but yeah, it's been really fun. So what I was realizing is now that I kind of think I have close to the style I'm after, I think I've finally gotten figured out kind of the style I'm going for. Now I needed to go through the alphabet and figure out, oh, thanks. It's been fun. So yeah, the work I'm doing today is just figuring out what I'm still not doing, which, I actually just realized I did one of these wrong. I actually need to do overlap. instead of a bracket. Yeah, but it's kind of fun. It's been a cool project. I've enjoyed it. It's been kind of fun. Um, mm, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I wrote the poem for the book. Well, actually, I came up with the idea like 5 years ago. Never did anything with it other than like coming up with the words for each letter. And then a couple months ago, when I had like finished a bunch of my craft projects, was trying to figure out my next one, and came back to this. So I ended up writing a poem, and yeah, I've now been working on the illustrations for it. So we'll see how it comes together. It's been a fun project so far. Um, but yeah, it's been kind of cool. Let's see. We've got brackets. And then we need to do an octave drawing. Okay, now this one's an interesting one because for the letter P, we have so many different options for that letter. It's the longest stanza of the entire poem because most of them are 2 to 4 like lines. The shortest one is the combination of I and J. The longest one is P because we have pedals, we have pillar, pickup or preamp, and then we have an effect called prédilatat. Um, so yeah, the illustrations for that. And I think the tricky thing is like I hate doing hands, so I'm gonna avoid it as much as I can, but I'm sure it's gonna come to a point that I have to do it at some point. So we got pedals, which would also be pedal pictures. We need to do pillar. We need to do pickup and preamp. And that can kind of be a combo image that has both in it. And then we need to, so there is an effect on harp where you play it down next to the bottom of the strings. So instead of playing in the middle, which gives you that classic harp sound, it's called prédilatat. There's a lot of French terms when it comes to harp stuff. And it's basically play at the bottom of the strings, and it gives you this very like bassy, woody sound. But typically, we don't, right? It's actually an interesting split because you see it just as often as just PDLT, um, and then you also see it as prédilatat. And then there's also a little squiggle that we use. There's like, now that I'm thinking about it, you see it transcribed about like 4 different ways in harp music, and they're all like used like correctly. So that one is just probably going to be kind of this style image, something like that, except with all the like different ways to write prédilatat. So should be fun. I'm excited. Yeah. Okay. Now, okay. So Q was definitely a stretch. It's Q is for quiet. No, this isn't a jest. In quartets or solos, you must keep the rests. So I think this is a bunch of rests. I think that's just the entire list. Oof. This list is getting way long. I'm gonna have to play with that quite a bit. Okay. Okay, so this is where it also gets interesting. Mm, So rolled chords. So we've got rolled chords, and then we have harp regulation. Which that one's, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that one. Okay, strings and soundboard, sympathetic vibrations. That's going to be a hard one to do. Strings, soundboard. And sympathetic. Oof. This list is longer than I thought it would be. Okay. But I actually have a lot of the other things. T shaped wrench. What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna have to count how many things are on this. This was longer than I thought it was going to be. Okay, unison. Okay, vibrating link. Okay, that is just one page dedicated to that. And so the vibrating length is the length of each string. And I don't know how I'm gonna write it. I think I want to do like a almost like that it looks like a blueprint page with like, yeah. Wires and wrenches. I have no idea. Oh, xylophone. Definitely thought I was further along than I am. Xylophone. U and zither pens. Okay, I have no idea what I'm gonna do for that U image. And then the closing image is the alphabet. So a bunch of hearts. And I think that closing image is just going to be kind of a bunch of harps on a page. I think that's what we're going to do there. Okay, so guys, let's see what we've got. And then I got to finish up for today, but we've got, this is a minimum of how many images we have left. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. And there's like 2 that I combined in there. So that is bare minimum. I've 40 more images. I know. That is still a lot of work left. But you know what? It's all good. I'm really enjoying this project. I think it's going well too. I'm really excited with how it's going. So if you guys are willing to hang on for probably another month or so, let's keep doing this. Let's see what we can come up with. I think there's gonna be some images that come together really fast. Some of those are just a couple little technical drawings, which like I whipped out those really fast. And then some of them are going to be like extremely detailed ones. And then I think I'm gonna probably past that have at least another probably 10 that like images where it really is just like incidentals where I think I just need to probably paint like now that I'm thinking about it, probably like 15 different harps that I can just like throw throughout the book because it's a harp book. But I think we're getting closer. I'm getting better at this effect. I'm getting better at this like art style. So yeah, dudes, we now have our master list. That is a lot of things for us to do, but I think we can do it. So we now have our little master list that we'll reference and use as our ideas, because right now it's just like looking at the poem and being like, oh, I don't have that. But I think this is going to allow us to be a little more organized. So thank you for joining me. I'm like running late for this wonderful Friday afternoon. So yeah, I hope everybody has a wonderful Friday and weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. So